Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Fundamentals of Credit. Today we're going to be talking about new credit. Now, I want to be very transparent. I feel like a lot of people put a huge emphasis on hard inquiries and they care about it so much. Personally, because it only affects 10% of your credit score, I personally feel like you shouldn't worry about it too much. You should focus on the other things that really impact your score. The reason why I want to review this is because it is the final 10% of what impacts your credit score. And in certain scenarios, it is the only thing that impacts your credit score, right? Now, every time you apply for a credit card, it is considered a hard inquiry. Now, whether it be a credit card or a personal line of credit or an auto loan, anytime that you're applying for any type of financing or you're requesting any type of money from the banks, it's considered a hard inquiry. Keep in mind, I did not say that every time you check your credit report, it counts as a hard inquiry. Those are only soft pulls. You don't have to worry about that. You can always check your credit report without having the fear that, oh, it's gonna impact my score. Don't even worry about it, right? The good news is that whenever you apply for a credit card and you get approved or denied, is that it only stays on your credit report for 2 years, right? So don't worry about simple things like checking your credit on a credit monitoring app like Credit Karma, because this does not impact your score. And like I said before, I don't stress this too much because it's only 10% of your credit. But before you apply anywhere, you want to make sure that you do your own research. So, because the last thing that you want is to get a hard inquiry on your credit report and that then get denied. Because if you think about it, when you apply for a credit card, the hard inquiry comes first. And then once they use that hard inquiry to pull your credit report, that's when they determine if they're going to approve you or they're going to deny you. So before you apply for anything, you want to make sure to ask yourself these questions. The first one, what credit bureau does this bank pull from? Because unlike popular belief, or contrary to popular belief, with the exception of banks like Capital One, most banks like Chase, Goldman Sachs, or Bank of America, they only pull 1 out of your 3 credit bureaus. Now you might be wondering, why do they do that? Well, because Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are for-profit companies. And how do they make their money? Well, they don't make their money off of you. They make their money off of selling your information to the lenders. So anytime that you pull your credit report, what's basically happening is the bank is asking TransUnion for a copy of your credit report, and they're purchasing that credit report off of them in order to determine if they're going to approve you or not. So that's the first question you ask. The second question you want to ask is, what score do they check? Because although you only have 3 main credit reports, you have over 50 to 60 different credit scores. These scores could range from FICO Bank Score 9 to FICO Score 5. They're all used for different things, right? So the third question you really want to ask yourself is my credit score the best that it can be right now? Because if you're maxed out on all your credit cards, right, then maybe instead of applying for new lines of credit and risking getting denied, a better strategy would be to pay off your credit cards first, wait for the new balance to report to the credit bureaus, and then apply for a new credit card. So you want to ask yourself that. Another question, this was a bonus, right? Has anybody with a similar credit report been approved for this before? So let's say, for example, if I'm looking at the Chase Sapphire Preferred and I notice that my score is at a 740, right? And then my sister just got approved for the Chase Sapphire Preferred and she has a 730, then I'm like, okay, there's a decent chance that I might get approved for this card, right? Especially if we both have similar incomes, similar relationships with the banks, and similar credit scores, right? So you can get the answers to all 3 of these questions on these 3 sites. The first one is My FICO Forums. So this is a forum directly from the creators of the My FICO score. So most people post their results on there. They'll be like, hey, look, I applied for Bank of America in New Jersey and they pulled my Equifax credit report and I made $68,000 last year and my credit score was 720 and I got denied. So then now you know, hey, if my score is not that great, I might not even go for that. The next one is Help Me Build Credit. It's very similar. This is one of the new guys on the block. Help Me Build Credit is actually a great resource because people love to post their data points there. The last one is Credit Boards. This one's been around since 2003, so this one's kind of like the OG in the space. Now, it's a little bit more complicated to navigate through it, but it definitely has a lot of gems in there. So these are sites where people post their credit scores, what card they applied for, what bureau and what score does the bank use, and if they got approved or not. So using that information, it can help you make that decision if you want to apply for that credit card. So that's basically hard inquiries. And if you guys have any more questions regarding hard inquiries, always feel free to post those questions in the community and see you on the next video. Take care, guys.